Nigeria is full of stories. Some are told to teach lessons, some to explain mysteries, and others to keep children in line. But there are older ones, the whispers that crawl into your ears at night, the ones that elders tell with their voices lowered, as if speaking them too loud might call the thing into the room. Here, we gather those stories. Step carefully, for once you hear them, you may never sleep the same again. 1. Egbere, the goblin with the mat. They say in Yoruba forests lives a filthy, small man called Egbere, always weeping into his mat. A hunter once snatched the mat and ran, waking to gold stacked high in his hut. But 3 nights later, the village heard screams. The hunter's body was found twisted, his mouth frozen in a scream, the gold gone. And in the forest, if you listen, you'll hear the sound of crying. Not all nightmares live in the waking world. Some slip through your sleep. 2. Ajalamo, the demon of dreams. A woman plagued by the same shadowy figure in her dreams stopped sleeping out of fear. Her family begged her to rest, but she resisted. One dawn they found her eyes wide open, her lips whispering a name no one understood. Her body was cold. Elders said Ajalamo, the dream demon, had grown tired of waiting and dragged her soul away. But there are spirits that do not wait for dreams. Some call to you directly, in the dead of night. 3. The whistling spirits. In Kano, a boy laughed at the old warning, never whistle after midnight. He puckered his lips and blew into the silence. A whistle answered back, closer and closer. He tried again, and the sound echoed from inside his room. His bed was empty the next morning. Only the faint sound of whistling lingered in the courtyard. Sometimes, it's not just voices that call to you, but laughter. 4. Asu's river children. A trader on the road home saw pale children playing by the riverbank at dusk. Curious, he called out to them. They turned, their mouths stretching too wide for their faces, and dove into the water. 7 days later, he dropped dead at the same spot, his body drained of color. Villagers whispered, Asu had claimed another soul. And if the river spirits don't catch you, beware the roads, for sometimes the dead wait at the crossroads. 5. The woman of the crossroads. A driver racing to Enugu saw an old woman in white standing at a junction. She greeted him softly, but he sped past without a word. Days later, his bus was found wrecked in the bush. Survivors swore he kept driving in circles, laughing like a madman, until the crash. But there are other places you can stumble into, places that should not exist in this world at all. 6. The night market in Onitsha. A man lost his way home and found a glowing market at midnight. The traders sold jars filled with shadows, bottles of laughter, and pots of human tongues. He bought a calabash of coins and hurried home. By morning, only his shadow remained by his hut. His body was gone forever. Even when you think you are safe in your village, some monsters do not hide. They come in the form of birds. 7. Iyami Aje, the bird witches. A boy in Osogbo heard birds laughing in the trees at midnight. He looked up to see their eyes glowing red. At dawn, he lay in the yard, chest sunken as if something had feasted on his heart. Old women said the Iyami Aje had chosen their victim. And sometimes, the forest itself beats a drum to call you into its darkness. 8. The drummer in the bush. 2 hunters heard drumming in the forest at night, steady and inviting. Thinking it was a secret festival, they followed. The drumming grew louder then stopped. One hunter returned, wild-eyed and silent, unable to recall what had happened. The other was never seen again. Yet sometimes, on a still night, villagers hear the drums echoing through the trees. These are the nightmares of Nigeria. Some are told as warnings, others as truths passed through generations. But one thing is certain, every tale has a root, every shadow a source. The question is, the next time you hear a whistle, or laughter where there should be none, will you remember these stories? Because sometimes, stories don't just warn you. Sometimes, they find you.